Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Reese-Gaines and welcome to my channel. I am an executive people and culture advisor, leadership strategist, and educator. And on this channel, this space, we will have real conversations about leadership, conflict, both personal and professional, and how we continue to evolve through challenge, particularly that we're having day to day that impacts our ability to grow and become the leaders we are destined to be. So if you're interested in elevating who you are as a leader and leveling up, this is the channel for you. Like, subscribe, become part of the community, and check in weekly as we will be dropping videos every single week about compelling topics related to growth, leadership, and all things related to personal development. Okay, let's get started. So the first topic we're going to unpack today is something that I see in almost every single organization that I work with, and it is never addressed. And no, it isn't performance, it isn't strategy, and it isn't capability. What I see often is avoidance. You know, leaders tend to avoid some of the smaller tensions, some of the unclear expectations and misalignment between people. And over time, these small things become culture fractures. And what's interesting is that everybody sees it. Your team sees it. Your leaders see it. High performers feel it. And everybody senses it because it's in the air. It's usually very, very thick, but everybody pretends that it's not happening. And instead of addressing it directly, what typically happens is that leaders wait until it becomes a performance issue and then they immediately want to get rid of the issue, right? Recognizing that there was a lot of opportunity to address it very early on, so it didn't have such a large impact both on the culture, on the person, and also on the organization. And the reality is that by the time they get to the point of addressing some of those smaller issues, the trust is already eroded. The culture is already impacted. And so what's interesting is that the cost of this avoidance isn't immediate. It's slow, but it's very, very dangerous. And we start to see it show up in disengagement. We see it in quiet resistance. We see it in inconsistency across teams. And eventually, we start to experience turnover, which we know impacts the organization and the leaders significantly. But one of the things that separates the leaders that I partner with and some of the other leaders is that they act on these small things. They don't wait. They address things while they're still small, when it's still really uncomfortable, and when the outcome isn't guaranteed. And so for you, if you're leading a team right now, I want you to ask yourself one question. What am I currently tolerating that I already know needs to be addressed? And that, my friends, is where the real work is. And that's where your culture is either strengthened or it's eroded. Later, I'll talk more about how to actually address these kinds of situations in ways that actually work. Not theory, but actual practiced experiences and solutions that then move your culture along. But for now, let's just sit with awareness. Because most leadership breakdowns don't come from what we don't know. They come from what we know already and what we're choosing not to address. I'll see you next week. Like, comment, subscribe, and stay pushing forward. Bye.